Welcome to episode 6 of the Queenagers. This is how we learn to live and grow in age naturally, beautifully, right? So with grace and according to the Bible, and also marrying that to scientific facts that maybe are new and cutting edge that you may not have heard before. So today, we're going to talk about a variety of things about how to empower you to manage stress, which is causes a lot of the de-stress and dis-ease in the American life. We're going to talk about so many things, and then we're going to end with speaking about Shabbat and how this Shabbat lifestyle can contribute to longevity and peace and shalom in your life. So let's get started. I'm going to share my screen. Welcome. And if you love this subject and you find it helpful, please share this YouTube video, or if you're seeing it on Facebook, you're welcome to share it. And let's get started. I'm going to share my screen real quick, and then we are going to go. So welcome to episode 6. We are going to get going with episode 6, sleep, rest, and de-stress like a queen. As we've been talking in this virtual webinar about aging beautifully, naturally, we're going to have a bonus section today about the joy and benefits of Shabbat. So it is Friday when I'm recording this. So Shabbat Shalom. Thank God it's Friday. We'll take on a whole new meaning when you learn to live the Shabbat life. So let's start here. De-stress queen. We are just beginning to understand the ways that stress influences a wide range of dis-eases of aging. Now, this whole series we've been talking about longevity, the science of longevity, new studies about longevity. If you look at episode 1, it has all of those stats in there, talking about the newest, latest, greatest findings on longevity and how aging starts at the cellular level and how we can help ourselves and support them to slow the aging process. Some of the things that stress causes or influences are heart disease, metabolic syndrome, type 2 diabetes, and certain types of disability, even early death, says Sheldon Cohen, a professor of psychology at Carnegie Mellon University in Pittsburgh, who has been at the forefront of stress research for 30 years. And he says this, he goes on to say in this article, when chronic stress exposes the body to a relentless stream of cortisol. Okay, so when our bodies are designed to, when we have a stress response, to go into fight or flight. And this is from this sympathetic nervous system and the parasympathetic nervous system. They're in this kind of battle. Okay. So when we get into stress, back in the ancient times, our ancestors up until about 100 years ago, sometimes they would find themselves in danger in hunting their food or, just survival of life. And this stress response, fight or flight, the cortisol would kick in, endorphins would kick in, and this would be a stressful response to give your body extra strength and even agility mentally to outsmart your, the tiger that's chasing you, whatever. And that is supposed to only last for a short period of time, like in bursts. Okay. But in the current world, we live in that fight or flight because of stress, because of social media, because of 24-hour news cycle, because of the problems in this world. Our stress becomes constant and cells become desensitized to the hormone cortisol, causing inflammation to go wild. Okay. This is what Cohen says. Long-term chronic inflammation damages blood vessels and brain cells. Y'all. Okay. Let's talk Alzheimer's, dementia. This is what I'm talking about. This leads to insulin resistance as well, a precursor to diabetes, and promotes painful joint disease. Listen, it's all connected. A lot of things are connected, and the root of the cause, this is what we talk about. Holistic medicine, functional medicine is the root cause. And many times we forget as, practitioners that you go to, they forget about the stress. All right. So what can you do about it? Well, I'm going to tell you essential oils are amazing to help you manage stress and mood. So for managing everyday emotions and stress, we have a line called Adaptive. This is amazing. Okay. So this is mood boosting, tension reducing to essential oils. And Adaptive is a calming blend. It's made of ahi flower, some other beautiful essential oils, and it is soothing to anxious and stressed feelings. So it has something in it that helps with the GABA, known as the brakes of the brain, and it helps to incorporate that so your brain can block, manage, and it promotes happiness and calm in the midst of the storm, basically. And so this is a wonderful thing, instead of turning to things that cause side effects or harmful medications. This is an amazing way you can take. We'll talk about the protocols for it. Also comes in an oil, which you can just inhale. I love this oil. You can apply this to the bottoms of your feet, your pulse points, and inhale as often as you need. So you just, for a little instant boost, yeah, you can just apply it to your brain stem. I want to tell you that inhale it as often as you need to. The time when I really get stressed out is at the dentist. So I take this in a little personal diffuser and I diffuse it right in my face and inhale it while I'm being treated. And my dentists are like, oh, this smells so good. It's calming me down too. Yeah. Side benefits, right? Also comes in a roller so that if you want to just carry this in your bag, you can just roll this on, take it with you during the day, roll it on at night. Another thing you do is apply it to the bottom of the feet, your pulse points, and inhale as often as you need. So this is an oil called Citrus Bliss that also helps to lift your mood. And you can ask me if you're watching this in February, I can help you get one of these for free. So just direct message me. Okay. When under continuous stress, cells of the immune system are unable to respond properly and consequently produce levels of inflammation that lead to dis-ease. Now we know that inflammation is the root cause of many dis-eases. When you have dis-ease in the body, stress, right? So let me tell you some of them: autoimmune disease, common cold, weight gain. There are studies that say just being in the state of stress, like a normal American, especially after 50, can cause you to gain up to 11 pounds a year. Okay. So you wonder why you can't lose weight? Maybe you're stressed. It also happens. Stress causes slower healing, so your body can't properly heal. It can cause headache, migraine. It can cause sleep disruption, heart disease, depression, ulcers, stomach problems, back and neck pain, and even cancer. And we're going to talk more about the sleep disruption. Okay. So we are going to talk about how essential oils can support that. So first of all, I just want to back up a little bit about the aromatic use. So just when you just drip some of these beautiful oils, and you can inhale them straight from the bottle. It does some things to your body. Okay, so at your brain, the olfactory nerves, which are behind your nose is an extension of your brain. We inhale the olfactory nerves in the nasal cavity, receive the input from aromatic compounds that are in essential oils. The plant cells are so compatible with the human cells. Number two, the olfactory bulb. This sends the electrical impulses, because we are electrical beings, y'all, from the olfactory nerves to the limbic system of the brain. And thirdly, the limbic system processes and releases neurochemicals that evoke an emotion and physical response depending on the essential oil used. So there are oils to calm, there are oils to stimulate, there are oils to help for focus, there's oils for memory. So let's talk about the centered and calm down protocol. Okay, you can take a couple of these in the morning with breakfast and a couple capsules at night before bed. These are just little gel caps. Okay. And then at night, you can apply balance oil, which is another amazing oil consisting of a lot of tree oils. That is a grounding blend. So think about these beautiful trees like frankincense and these trees that help keep you grounded and rooted. You can apply this to the pulse points, your bottom of the feet, and inhale as often as you need to. It's also great with the serenity oil for sleep. We're going to talk about it a little bit later. Then my favorite oil for my fragrance is called Peace. It is an oil called Peace, which is so apropos for this teaching on Shalom. You apply this to the bottoms of your feet, your pulse points, and inhale it as often as needed. I keep Peace everywhere. I have so many bottles of Peace. I love it. It is the fragrance that I wear. I used to wear a fragrance called Peace by Bond Number 9, and it cost $575 a bottle. And when I found this one, it only cost about $30. I was thrilled. I actually bought the whole kit of the emotional oils. I think it was 150. I was so thrilled, and I have passion, I have cheer, I motivate, all these great oils for fragrances that I can layer and use. And they also have a side benefit of emotional support, where the fragrances that I use that cost so much money, yes, those had side effects. So those are hormone disrupting. Yeah, they're not good for your lungs, your respiratory system, so many issues they can cause, trigger migraines, right? So anyway, let's talk more about sleep. Get some sleep. Let me tell you, essential oils are amazing to support healthy sleep and to get you in a beautiful rituals that you can use to wind down and get your mind calmed down to sleep. So let's talk about the Serenity line that Doterra has. This comes in Serenity soft gels. Looks just like the same as the Adaptive. I actually like to take these together at night. This combines the relaxing benefits of lavender essential oil and many other natural plant extracts. And it has lemon balm, which is called Melissa. That is our most expensive oil to reduce tense or nervous feelings. And it also has German chamomile, which provides a calming effect on the body. Yeah, I've been in the chamomile fields with Doterra on a sourcing trip. And I want to tell you, it's akin to, we were out in those fields, like playing, taking pictures, a lot of Doterra leaders. And I felt like I was in the Wizard of Oz because we all got so sleepy being out in that field with those beautiful little daisy-like flowers. I was like, dude, on the way back, as soon as we got on the bus to leave, on the way down, we were just chatting. It was so loud in there. You couldn't even hear. I had to scream at my friend who was sitting in the seat next to me in the bus. On the way back, you could hear a pin drop. It's like chamomile works. Okay. So Serenity, the restful blend. We also have the oil that you can diffuse or you can apply topically. And lavender is calming to the mind, body, and emotions. It's in Serenity. Also, marjoram is in there, and it's calming to the nervous system. It's akin to very much like a muscle relaxer. Naturally. And then there are lots of wood oils in here that are highly calming and promote a tranquil atmosphere. Let me tell you a quick story. So the first night that my husband and I got our essential oils, our Doterra oils, we put them in the diffuser, and he was sort of making fun of me and saying, yeah, this is cool. You know, we use essential oils. That's fine that you got all these. I don't mind, whatever. But, you know, these things probably don't work. And I'm like, well, you know, let's see. Right. So I'd already used a breathe oil that helped me get rid of a respiratory situation I'd had for 2 years. Okay. So I was a believer, but I didn't know about the rest of the oils. That's why I wanted to try every one before I told anyone about them. So we put on the diffuser, we go to sleep. Mark and I are always awake at 5 o'clock in the morning. Always. We always see the sun rise. That's just our rhythm. And then the alarm goes off at 6. We're always awake. Always. Okay. So this particular morning, with our first night of Serenity sleep, with a Serenity in, we only put it in the diffuser. We didn't apply it. We didn't, we didn't even have the soft gels yet in doTERRA. We woke up, sat straight up in bed and looked at the clock. It was 9 a.m. and it was a school day. We screamed. And I began to laugh because I'm like, oh, they don't work. They don't work, huh? And it was a school day. So we jumped up and asked the kids, y'all get up. We're going to be late for school today. School had already started. So that was our first. Now, you know, we know to set the alarm. And if we sleep, yes, we might need that alarm clock. So here's a sleep protocol. So when you use essential oils in your life and you want to sleep like a queen, rest like a queen, we know that ancient queens had med spas and used essential oils for sleep and for relaxation. And if you watched, I think episode 3 or 4, I talked about how Cleopatra, who was a queen, had the first med spa, right? And they had, one of the things that the Romans liked to do is they loved a good bath, and they would incorporate things like lavender and eucalyptus, things like that in their baths to make it even more luxurious. This is what they do in health spas, right? This is what they do in spas. So let me give you your own protocol. I had the last episode, we talked about making your home a spa, and listen, you can live the spa life with essential oil. So let's talk about a nightly roller. So you can make your own essential oil roller. You just take an empty one and then you put whichever oils you want in there. You can absolutely use the lavender roller or the adaptive roller, or you can make your own. So you can combine 8 drops of each Serenity oil, lavender, cedarwood, and peace in a 10 ml roller well, and smells amazing. You can also use this as a fragrance, but it'll make you really calm. And top it with fractionated coconut oil. You can roll it on your pulse points and the bottoms of the feet before you go to bed at night. And then before you go to bed, this is what I like to do. Set my diffuser. Some good oils that you can diffuse are lavender, copaiba, vetiver, and serenity. Even the balance oil is amazing too. And then obviously you want to make sure that you have a good foundation by taking the lifelong vitality supplements throughout the day, because that makes everything work better. And then you take your Serenity soft gels before you go to sleep, 30 minutes before going to bed. Another thing I like to do is a relaxing bath. So I like to, obviously I've taken my vitamins throughout the day. I'll get out my roller, put the roller on, get my diffuser ready, get it all going, spray my linens with a linen spray. That same recipe for the nightly roller is a great one to put in a spray bottle and spray your linens. And then I go run a bath, right? So Epsom salts with balance and lavender is amazing. The Serenity oil is amazing. One of my favorites is Adaptive, the oil that I just told you about de-stressing. You sit under that in that Epsom salt bath with, from your neck down for 20 minutes. And lavender is also great to pull the toxins out of your body. So that is a great way to have a little ritual to help you go to sleep and unwind and rest. So this, you also reducing sugar and inflammatory foods is another way in turning off all blue lights, which are technology before bed is another great way. So you can track your progress when you use your essential oils and see if it helps you, right? So that's what we recommend. It's all science, y'all. So let's talk about desiring that shalom life. Okay. So the word shalom, I use the word shalom for my business. My website is www.shalomoils.com. I practice at Shalom Wellness. That is what I call my business. And I want to just tell you, if you want to desire the shalom life, you have to do it on purpose with purpose. So what does the word shalom mean anyway? Well, many people know that it means peace. It does, but it has 7 facets. And that it is one of the most powerful words in any language. Shalom is a Hebrew word, which Hebrew is the most powerful language. Every letter is a number, a picture, a letter, right? And it is a musical notation. So this is a multifaceted language. So shalom has these 7 meanings: peace, harmony, tranquility, prosperity, wholeness, completeness, and the welfare of you and everything connected to you. So I don't know about you, but that's the kind of life I want to lead. And so I want not only for me, but for everyone connected to me. That includes the people that are that are my customers and my clients in Doterra. That includes my friends, my family, my loved ones. This is the life and the lifestyle I want to lead and exemplify, because Jehovah Shalom, our peace. We are to be imitators of Christ, and we know that Christ is the Prince of Peace, the Prince of Shalom. Okay, so this is how I want to live. Now, listen to the Prince of Shalom. He is also called the Lord of the Sabbath. He is the Lord Shabbat. Okay. The science of Sabbath, how people are rediscovering rest and claiming its benefits. You know that this Queenager series has been full of science and Bible, right? We're putting science and Bible together. So let's talk about the Sabbath rest. Okay. Longevity. In 2005, National Geographic published the findings of scientists funded in part by the U.S. National Institute on Aging, who traveled around the globe to learn the secrets of longevity from populations that had high rates of centenarians, of people over 100. Okay. Fewer deadly diseases and more healthy years of life. And among them were Seventh-day Adventists in Loma Linda, California. Scientists pointed to the Adventist practice of Sabbath as one of the reasons for their good health. Now, an earlier study found the average Adventist lived 4 to 10 years longer than the average Californian. A more recent 2014 study, co-authored by Professor Jerry Lee of the School of Public Health at Loma Linda University, an Adventist school in Southern California, looked at the correlation between Sabbath keeping and mental health and well-being. According to their research, Lee said refraining from secular activities at Sabbath was associated with a better mental health and better physical health. What? Who knew that God beckons us to enter a sanctuary in time, a place where time stands still, where our souls can find spiritual rest and nourishment in his presence. Learning the things of his word with extra time for prayer, study, and worship, the Sabbath gives us a spiritual recharge from which we can draw new energy and fresh stamina. A great time, 24 hours, right, to break from technology, watch the news, and all the things that cause us stress, to take a break, and being present with our family and enjoying life and being present in the moment. God has made an appointment with you every week to rest with him. Are you keeping the date? Or are you standing him up? Now, I want to tell you about a little bit more about the delighting in the Lord. The rabbis say, because this is rooted, we want to say this, people say this is rooted in Judaism, but it is not. It is rooted in creation. And the reward for Sabbath, for keeping Sabbath, is the Sabbath itself. Okay. Keeping the Sabbath is an invitation to rest, to take a break from work and spend time with God. God commands us not to work for 24 hours. Why aren't we doing it? Look, when I found out God was commanding me to rest and not work, I was like, I'm in. As Christians, we associate the Sabbath with going to church on Sundays to worship God, hearing someone preach the word, and fellowshipping with other believers. However, there's much more to Sabbath than just going to church on Sundays. As a matter of fact, Sunday is not even the Sabbath. We are so messed up, and I'll tell you a little bit more about that. Don't get mad at me and don't turn me off. Listen to me, okay? God's purpose and design for creating the Sabbath was so that he could dwell with us, with his people. And it was to be a time where people sought God in a deeper relationship, and where people could rest and be satisfied in him and with him. Now, let's go back to the history of the Sabbath, okay? Sabbath is the oldest thing in the Bible. Even God rested, and he invites us, the creation, who were created in his image, to rest with him. Now, Sabbath is not Sunday. We'll talk about that at the end, where the roots of that, when it changed. Sabbath day begins on Friday night when the sun sets. This is God's appointed time. It is not negotiable. It was not changed to Sunday. You can still go to church on Sunday, but to me, church isn't rest. I've been in ministry my whole life, and I want to tell you that Sunday was the most stressful day. And then on Monday, I would literally fall like a puddle and could do nothing. Makeup still won't stay on my face on Monday. It is a timed response to the stress, PTSD for my whole life. And I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying it's work. It's work, and there's nothing wrong with work. I love church, and I love the work that I did at church, but it was not Sabbath. It's two different things. Okay. Working for the Lord and Sabbath are two different things. Sabbath day begins on Friday night when the sun sets. Have you ever heard this saying, thank God it's Friday, TGIF, right? There's a whole restaurant. And let me tell you, it is a day on Friday. Don't you just naturally feel your clock in your body be like, take a breath? Even if I'm used to work Friday, Saturday, Sunday, but still something about Friday, just like after coming home from work on Friday, you're just like, oh, I made it through the week, right? It ends on Saturday night after sunset when the stars first appear in the sky. Why? Sabbath symbolizes and celebrates and emphasizes creation, that we were created by Yahweh. It is literally saying, I was created by God. God rests, and I'm going to rest with him because I'm his creation, and I am on his clock, and I'm on his calendar. He's made an appointment with me, and I'm going to keep it. And Sabbath, translated in the Hebrew, it's Shabbat, and it comes from the root word shavat, which means to cease. a day of ceasing. And it's also translated as it is finished. So when Christ died on the cross on a what? Friday. Yeah. It symbolized Shabbat. It is finished. Okay. Not Shabbat is finished, but his work was finished. All right. So the Sabbath is a blessed, holy, appointed day. It is a blessing. The Sabbath is a day of blessing, divinely appointed for goodness, a day of enjoying the blessings of God. The examples of things that the Bible declared to be holy, Kadash, all right, are the Sabbath, the nation of Israel, the priesthood, the tabernacle, the sacrifices, and even Yeshua observed the Shabbat and the feast. But listen to this. Let's read the Bible. Genesis 2:3 says, and God blessed the seventh day and sanctified it. Okay, sanctified means it's holy, means it's set apart from all the other days. It's not like the other days. Because in it, in Shabbat, he had rested from all his labor, his work, which God created and made. Ezekiel says it like this. Also, I gave them my Sabbaths to be a sign between me and them, that they might know that I am the Lord who sanctifies them or sets them apart. This is a day that's set apart for us. So we will know that he is set apart for us. All right. And then in Mark 2:27, Yeshua himself said, when someone asked him about Shabbat, he said, Shabbat was made for man and not man for Shabbat. Okay. Does that mean we don't celebrate it? No. He says we weren't made for Shabbat. Shabbat was made for us. And he said, so the Son of Man, talking about himself, is Lord even of Shabbat. He is the Lord of Shabbat. And as imitators of Christ, we do what he did, right? We rest in Sabbath. We rest in prayer. And it's also a day to let go, right? Commit our week to the Lord, commit our plans to the Lord, and let go and let him be in control. The Sabbath is a gift for all mankind. It was a gift for creation, not just for Jews. The Sabbath is the oldest thing instituted in the Bible. It's older than religion itself. The first thing that God declared blessed and holy. It was the first blessing that God gave in the Bible. It begins on Friday night, concludes Saturday night, and the highlight of the story of creation is Shabbat. Yes, the story of creation on the first day, on the second day, all these things are awesome. But all of these things that led up to the highest, holiest day, the divine seventh day, the day of Shabbat. It's also the fourth commandment. The Bible says, remember the Sabbath day and keep it holy in Exodus. Oh, that wasn't something as a suggestion. They were not the 10 suggestions. They were the 10 commandments. And as I was researching this subject, there is so much misinformation on the internet. Listen, there are things that I read that it said the only commandment that we don't keep in the New Testament was the fourth one. Are you kidding me? First of all, why wouldn't we want to keep this one, right? But God rested as our example. We are created in his image. And let me tell you how special the Shabbat day is, or Shabbat. In Hebrew, all the other days are just numbers. They're not Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. They're day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, day 5, day 6. That's the days. That's the name of the days. They're the number. So 1, I'll meet you on day 1. I'll meet you on day 2. But the only day that has a name is the Sabbath, Shabbat. It means it's set apart. I want to tell you, it's also a day that's holy. What is the opposite of holy? The opposite of holy is ordinary. So the other days are ordinary, but Shabbat is special. It is holy. It is set apart. And the opposite of holy is not evil. The opposite of holy is normal. We are not normal. We are set apart. Why do we keep the Sabbath day holy and set apart? Well, for physical renewal. It renews our body, as we just read in the scientific study. It renews our body and helps us to have a day to recharge. Like nothing can go 7 days a week. And how dare we think we are greater than God? I was so blessed to have spent time at my home, at our family home with Miles Monroe. one of the greatest men of God that I've been able to sit at his feet, right? And he one time had a big conversation with my dad, and he asked my dad, "When are you going to come on vacation to the Bahamas and visit us and stay with us? We want to go stay. We want you to come stay with us and have a vacation." And my dad said, "I don't take vacations." And so Miles Monroe said, "Well, do you take a Sabbath?" And he said, "No, I work every day. My horses eat every day, whatever." So Miles said, "Listen, how arrogant." So this is my dad. He can talk to my dad like this because they were this kind of friends. Okay. They were close friends and they could talk to each other with honesty. And they did. It was brutal sometimes, but there was so much love in these conversations. I want to tell you, so much love and respect. So he's like, "How arrogant of you, Lawrence. Do you think you're better than God?" And my dad said, "Oh, what do you mean?" And he said, "Even God rested on the seventh day. So do you think you're better than God?" And so some of the other I don't have time to share the rest, but he gave one of the most amazing illustrations of how that God checked him when he was putting his church before his family and before God. And it was amazing. And someday I'll tell it. Okay, so why do we keep the Sabbath day holy? Spiritual strength. When we have a day where we just study, where we get in his word, not because we're preparing for a message or not because, it's like something, we're getting ready for, because sometimes studying can be like a job, right? That's what a lot of pastors do for their job, is they study, but you do it for fun. You do it for whatever Holy Spirit's telling you to enjoy, or you study with your family, right? For spiritual strength, you pray, you get alone with God, you have time with him, even as a family. And then thirdly, our love for God. If you love me, you'll keep my commandments. Dude, this is the fourth one. That's all I'm going to say. All right. Now, did God change the Sabbath day to Sunday? What happened? Well, why do Christians celebrate Sunday as the Sabbath? And should Christians celebrate the Sabbath or Shabbat? For well over 300 years, the early church observed Shabbat in the synagogue on Friday nights and would go to synagogue on Saturdays and teach, preach, worship with the Jews. This is the time when the church was full of power, and it literally took over the entire world and toppled the Roman Empire with the power of God, the gospel, signs, wonders, and miracles. And we say often, where did we lose it? Where did we lose the power? I'm not going to say it's just Shabbat, but I want to tell you, when you break covenant with God, when God made a covenant, an appointment to meet with us, and we break it for these reasons that I'm going to, he blessed this day. So when we live a blessed life, or when we reject a blessing, it can be a curse to us. So the Catholic Church legalized Christianity, and you'll see here, the Laodicean Council in 336 said, "We observe Sunday instead of Saturday because the Catholic Church in the Council of Laodicea transferred the solemnity from Saturday to Sunday." Why? Because this was their pagan day to worship the sun god. And they basically mixed the paganism with Christianity and literally stole, and no offense to Catholics, because it wasn't your fault. It was a long time ago. And the Sunday is the Vatican's mark of authority. The church is above the Bible, and the transference of Sabbath from Saturday observance is proof of that fact. And that was in the Catholic record of September 1st, 1923. So this has been going on, people from generations and generations for 1800 years. It was switched. Okay. And it was a long, long time ago, but the truth is in the Word of God and in the Bible. And I'm not really going to talk more about that. I will in a later episode. If you want to see more about the Sabbath and the Jewish feasts, I'm going to be doing something about Purim and the Story of Esther tomorrow. Now, what does a biblical Shabbat look like? I'm going to hurry through this. Thank God it's Friday, right? The Sabbath preparation. So usually the preparation goes all week, but especially Thursday, so that the dinner on Friday night is prepared and all the work is done before Shabbat, before Friday night before the sun goes down. Okay. Now you might use paper plates on Friday night, or, have some kind of system where you just leave the dishes in the sink, but you're not supposed to work. You're supposed to cease. Okay. Now it starts on Friday night, and what there is a beautiful dinner with the whole family. The mother begins Shabbat by praying over the candles, saying a prayer. Why does the mother do it? Because through the sin of a woman, the Shekinah left the earth. And when we light the candle and invite the presence of the Lord, and with the prayer, you actually do this and light the candle and say the Shabbat prayer, inviting the presence of the Lord in the home, the Shekinah in the home. Okay, this is every Friday night. Okay, what are the rules of the mother and father? The mother she serves the meal. Everybody partakes. And then at the end of the meal, the father calls each child to the head of the table, lays hands and says a prophetic blessing over that child for that week. And whatever God says to the father as the high priest of the home, to lay hands on the children. And then at the end, there's a blessing of, they thank the Lord for their food when they're finished eating, not at the beginning. Okay. And then also at the very end, the father calls the mother to the front and he lays hands on the mother, and the children also pray for the mother and bless her. Now, I don't know about you, but I feel so robbed and so cheated that I didn't have this, I was not able to have this practice in my home because we didn't know about it. Okay. Now we know, so we can restore the things that have been stolen from us. So there's the Sabbath table, has a special way of being set, just the Sabbath blessings. And then the Sabbath activities means that there's a cease of work, and all you do is feast and have fun and talk about the Lord, right? So this is the kickoff on Friday. Then what does Shabbat Saturday look like? So in the morning, you can have a feast. Obviously, you have things to lay out. I love how the Jews do breakfast. The Hebrews, if you go to Israel, they have things out that, boiled eggs, avocados, things that have been prepared the night before, sliced tomatoes. I just love their breakfast. Lots of things like yogurt, nothing is hardly cooked. It can be prepared, right, and cooked before. So you have all these things, cheeses, and a charcuterie is totally like a breakfast that you would have in Israel. Okay. So of course, you don't eat pork. And we talked about that in the Eat Like a Queen. So on Saturday, you rest and feast. You go outside in the sunshine, enjoy creations, enjoy the sunrise or sleep in. And then you rehearse the prophetic time of 1,000 years. Oh, this is 100, 1,000 years, typo, 1,000 years when there's going to be peace on the earth. And when Yeshua himself, the Lord of Shabbat, is going to rule and reign. So it is a day to bring heaven on earth as it is in heaven. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done. This is the day that you rehearse kingdom, that we talk about what it's going to be like on that Saturday meal before sundown. We talk about and on Saturdays, listen, you break out the good china, you have it all out on the table, and you're ready to have a beautiful dinner with the crystal. I mean, you don't have to. This is what you get to do if you want to, right? You have an all out feast. You can invite friends over to gather. This is a big time to celebrate the marriage supper of the Lamb. What is that going to look like? Let's talk about it. Let's try to make it happen here on earth. Get it all out and let's have a beautiful feast, the best things God has for us. Get out your best. And at the end of that beautiful meal, you talk about the prophetic emphasis, talk about prophecy, you blow out the candle, and honey, day one has begun. The work can begin, right? Saturday night is the night to think about the next rest of the week. You can get your stuff in order, and then Sunday you're free to do whatever you want, go to church or go to work, whatever. So that's kind of how it works if you celebrate Shabbat. Let's talk about the Queenagers. We're right here at the end. So I want to just let you know that in the rabbinical teachings, they say that Esther, because she was the inspiration for Queenagers, you had 7 maidens to assist her in her preparation for the king. And she used these women to count the 7 days of the week so that she would be able to observe Shabbat, even when she was in the harem. Some of the other reasons for Shabbat is the purpose for feeding the spirit, that we may keep ourselves unspotted from the world by obeying God's commandment and making that the first fruit of our week. And keeping the Sabbath day holy expresses our love for the Lord and shows our gratitude for his goodness. And I want to just say that I have a whole teaching on gratitude practice. I have something I do in person called the gratitude games. It doesn't really translate online. It's something you do in person. And everyone should have a gratitude practice. Talk about de-stressing, talk about living a happy life. The latest scientific studies say that digging deeper into the findings that at Brown and Wong made 4 groundbreaking discoveries in this recent scientific study. Gratitude unshackles us from toxic emotions because Shabbat is a day to be grateful. Gratitude helps us. Even if we don't share our gratitude with others, it helps us. But when you share it, it spreads. Happiness spreads when we are grateful for people and we let them know how we're grateful for them. Also, when we're grateful to God, it brings us into the presence of the Lord. You enter his gates with thanksgiving and enter his courts with praise. And God's gratitude's benefits, sometimes they take time. All right. So it's not going to happen and maybe immediately, but when you begin to have a gratitude practice, like journaling and, just making sure that every night before you go to sleep, you're saying your prayers. And we talked about rituals of prayer in the last episode of Queenagers. Gratitude benefits takes time, and gratitude, more importantly for longevity, has lasting effects on the brain. So it's a great way to live a life of longevity with your brain intact. So listen, let's talk about how you can live better longer. We have the lifelong vitality system by Doterra to keep us all 7 days of the week getting the proper nutrition, giving us 12 servings of fruit and vegetables. This is the foundation for this mind and mood kit you see over here on the left. This has the adaptive system in it that I talked about at the beginning. This has the roller, the oil, and the soft gel, also the wild orange that you pair with it. It makes an amazing fragrance for men or women. You can use it for adjusting and managing your stress. And it helps me even to sleep. So this is the mind and mood kit. Now, if you want the complete, and I will tell you how to get a free citrus bliss in February 22, if you're watching this then. Then also, if you want the whole shebang, if you want the complete kit to help reduce stress and reduce pain and support your body with a healthy immunity, you can get the whole kit also with the lifelong vitality and the On Guard vitamins and On Guard soft gels that give you vitamin D, vitamin C, and zinc in these unique times. And I would love to bless you with this. I would bless you with 6 free oils in February of 2022 if you enroll with this complete collection. So if you're interested in any of these things to manage your sleep, manage your stress, de-stress, and rest like a queen, please contact me or go to shalomoils.com. Listen to this. The Bible says in 3 John 1 and 2, beloved, I wish above all things that you may prosper and be in health, even as your soul prospers. And this is my blessing to you. This is my desire for you. This is why I do what I do, that you will have a prosperous life, that you will be able to fulfill your destiny in the kingdom. And that's why I share some of the truths that God has so graciously shared with me. I had to unlearn a lot of things before I was able to learn a better way to live. And that's going back to the roots of Christianity and the roots of ancient medicine and nutrition to get back to the Garden of Eden. That's how he desired us for us to live in nature, close to nature, without all the synthetics and toxins. And I love to share these things with you. So thank you so much. The next episode of Queenagers, we'll talk about feasting and observing Purim. We're going to talk more about Queen Esther and her story. We're going to crown the end with talking about the most amazing queen who has a feast and a whole book of the Bible in her honor. And the feast is Purim. And we're going to talk about that on tomorrow, and the other feasts that are the feast of the Lord that we can celebrate as a gift from him to us. So thank you so much. Share this with anyone that you think would benefit from it. Anybody that's stressed out, anybody that wants to live that better, prosperous life. Shalom.